Hi! So welcome to my YouTube channel and my first ever video. I'm Emma, I'm the owner and creator of Lola Robin, where I sell a range of prints and stickers over in my Etsy shop. The link for that is down below in the description. But this year I've really been trying to push myself a bit more creatively and experiment in my sketchbooks, so I thought I would document some of that and share it here in some videos. So to start off with today, I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour. This is quite a small sketchbook, but I did complete it pretty quickly. I started it on the 10th of March and I just finished it the other day on the 7th of April. So it took me about 4 weeks to complete this one. There's quite a mix of stuff in here, so it should be quite interesting. So I thought I'd just do a little walk through and show you what I've been up to. So first page of the sketchbook, it's always tricky to know what to do, so I just went with some swatches of all the materials I've been using recently. So these are watercolour pencils, these are the Necolors, and then the Necolors with the water added, and Polychromos pencils. These ones were inspired by pictures taken on our honeymoon. We went to Italy, and this was specifically from a day trip to Capri. We went up the chairlift to look at the views, and we went to this beautiful garden. This was all back in 2017, but I'm just now going back to some of the photos to use them as references. This spread ended up being quite tropical. I started off with the bird. I've been wanting to draw more animals, so I looked through some photos and found some from a trip to a zoo. I think this was taken at the Cotswold Wildlife Park. Of course, the original parrot was actually blue, but I made him pink here. And this one was inspired quite loosely by a photo from Florida. So this was my first Still Here, Still Life. This was week 78. The reference was a beautiful painting by a Ukrainian artist. I used a mixture here of gouache, colour pencils and Necolors all layered together. For this one I was trying out the Necolors with the water, using them more as a paint, which I hadn't tried before. I love how the colours all came out and there's nice texture in here. I did have to use the Necolors themselves for the detail lines where I'd normally use the pencils, because the pencils don't like going on top of the Necolors after they've been made wet. This was quite a quick one. I was just about to put my sketchbook away and just decided to have a go at a little landscape, again using the Necolors but mixed with pencils as well. I really like how it's turned out. There's lots of texture in it. I like the markings in the grass here. I've since tried to do something similar and it hasn't really worked out, so this was just one of those ones that, just a happy accident, it kind of worked out at the time. These ones were just after a day at Kew Gardens. I'd been drawing this plant in my other sketchbook just as outline drawings. I'd been sat on the floor in one of the glass houses for quite a while and this was just in front of me. The original were actually pink and white, but I made them yellow in the sketchbook. When I draw in the other sketchbook, I just draw in black line. So then when I refer back to them later, I can kind of use my imagination for colours, rather than feeling restricted to what was actually there at the time. So I tried out a range of materials here. I've got watercolour pencils for this one. This one is pencils and Necolors. These ones are just colour pencils, and this one's got some gouache as well as the colour pencils on top. This was my first attempt at a Draw This In Your Style. This was by That Void Design on Instagram. I'm not a huge fan of the fox's face in this one, but I do really like the texture in its fur and the leaves and the little daisies that I added in and the little sparkles. This was week 79 of Still Here, Still Life. I'm not as keen on this one. I don't think I sort of framed it very well. We've got this big gap down here with not a lot going on, but I do like the checkerboard and I really like how the tulips came out here. So this is one of those attempts of me trying to do one of those landscapes, like the one, if I can find it, back here. Of course, it didn't work out at all. This is not at all what I imagined. I'm not keen on the colours in this one, or the style. I might try this one again though, because I do really like the reference image that I used. This one is gouache and coloured pencils. I quite like the texture that I've achieved, but not as keen on the colours again. This whole spread is not my favourite in this book. These are all done with just coloured pencils. There's a little bit of watercolour pencils in some of the leaves here, but this was just an evening on the sofa sketching out some animals. This was using some reference images from the Biodiversity Heritage Library on Flickr. We've got a great selection of old images of plants, animals, nature, all sorts. But I love the texture again in the fur. I really like this one with the little white dots and the markings in his fur. Carrying on with the deer, but this time I did it with a layer of gouache underneath. I did go a little bit too dark on the paint, so I'm not thrilled with how it came out, but again, I'm really enjoying using these markings and all the sort of combination of different colours to layer up together. This one was inspired by an image on a Tumblr account full of National Geographic images. So it's just a picture of a lake with lots of flowers, and I just added in this flower here to fill the gap. So overall I really like this spread. I'm really pleased with the colours on this one, and I do really like this snake and the border. I'm really enjoying doing borders like this at the moment. So for this spread, going back to drawing some animals again just in coloured pencils. Giraffes are always my favourite, so I will never stop drawing them. Birds, I'm really enjoying the texture and feathers. This was another image from the Biodiversity Heritage Library on Flickr. And then this one, I had asked on Instagram for some suggestions for animals to draw, and this was from my neighbour's little boy who requested a horse. These ones I actually did over a couple of days. I did the gouache layer first and then got distracted and didn't get back to it, and then went in and added the pencil layers over the top. I really love the colour palette on this page. And again, these two were referenced from the Biodiversity Heritage Library on Flickr. And then these bits I just added in from imagination afterwards. These ones are actually Necolors, and these are the gouache. So back to more animals for this one. Again, I'm really enjoying these borders and the markings in the fur. And then this is the final spread. I've been really enjoying drawing fruit recently, but I realised this whole sketchbook didn't have any fruit in it, so for ages I was stuck on what to do for the last spread, and then I thought I'll fill it with some fruit, and I actually really like this, how this turned out. So this again is the gouache with the colour pencils on top. I think this is my favourite combination of mediums. And this one is just colour pencils. But I prefer this to a lot of the other colour pencil ones I've done. I think it's got a lot more depth to it. I left a bit less white space on this one, so you get a bit more colour and depth and texture in the leaves. And then of course I had to add that border yet again. Then on the last page, this is just some little swatches where I use the water brush, and I don't have a pot of water with me. I just clean it off on the back page. But it actually ends up being quite a nice little palette of the colours that I've used throughout the sketchbook. So I just got this parcel from Jackson's Art. This is some sketchbooks that I ordered. Thought I'd open it up and show you what I got. I've done a terrible job of opening this. Okay, I'm in. So, lots of people have been talking about the Talons sketchbooks, so I went for a mini one of this. It's 12 by 12 centimetres. The paper's supposed to be suitable for mixed media, so I thought this would be a good one when I'm out and about. It's nice and small, not too heavy in my bag. This one I got as a pencil, or pen and pencil holder. So again, this is for when I go out drawing, because at the moment I'm taking quite a big pencil case. I'm taking way too many things. And then I can't find what I want when I'm there. So I thought with this, it limits how many things I can take. I have to be selective. And then I can open it up and see everything all at once. Hopefully be a lot more practical. I'm going to Kew Gardens next week, so I will be taking both this and this with me. And then the other one
which again I've seen lots of people talking about. I actually struggled to find this. This is what I was originally looking for in the art shops in London. But it's the Strathmore Mixed Media Sketchbook. Went for a A4 for this one. It's got lovely paper. It's nice and thick, so it's supposed to be good at taking the paint and the wet media. So I've nearly finished a sketchbook that I'm working in at the moment, so I will be trying these out soon. I've ordered one other sketchbook as well, it's the Nina Cosford drawing sketchbook. So I'm going to have plenty to keep me busy.
Okay, so that's the end of the video. As I mentioned at the beginning, it's my first ever YouTube video, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. I'm hoping to post new videos every month or so, hopefully more often. And there'll be lots of draw with me's and studio vlogs, definitely lots of sketchbook tours as you just saw. I've got plenty of sketchbooks to fill up, so there's going to be lots to share. So if you want to see more of that, then please subscribe. I'm actually heading to Florida next week for a holiday, visiting some friends. I have got a couple of trips to some gardens and a few other bits planned that will hopefully become part of my next video. So look out for that probably towards the end of April once I return. If you have made it all the way to the end of the video, then please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed it, then hit that like button for me. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!